All right, so welcome back, everyone. We just had a 30-something minute recess, and now the court will move into the stage where we question Mr. Jones about his case in chief. Now, earlier today, Mr. Green presented a witness, the Attorney General Colton. However, due to the Equal Discovery Act, he is not able to testify because his affidavit has not been notarized, given to Mr. Jones 24 hours prior to this trial. So the court has resolved that sometime after his affidavit has been notarized and given to the opposing party, that we will hold a separate hearing to hear the procedural issues of this case and then decide if, based on the facts presented at that future trial, that in the federal court's case, the Department of Justice was not given enough time to prepare. So that's a separate issue. But now we'll continue with the procedural issues presented. I will start with some questions, and I'll just go down the list of things that you challenged. Mr. Jones, are you here?
Yes, ma'am. Madam Chief Justice.
So let's go to... see, 1 U.S. Code 3. You seem to be arguing that simply by the fact that the U.S. Code gives certain definitions that it's being unconstitutional.
Wait, which one is this?
1 U.S. Code 3.
1 U.S. Code 3. Yes. This, so what this code does is it defines these terms. And the problem with this is these terms are used throughout the code in some of these rulings under which it has no jurisdiction over.
Could you give an example?
Sure. Let's any time it says person, human being, child, individual, such as here, let's just use Control F, human. Okay.
Yeah, I see 116 things.
Okay, so there's 116 places in which these are all being used where they shouldn't be, because this code is supposed to apply to citizens, as there is no, again, as I was saying, like to put it in as an example, in real life there's a 14th Amendment saying all these rights are guaranteed to non-citizens. We don't have that. So this code cannot...
we don't have non-citizens?
We don't have the 14th Amendment that is available in real life that guarantees these rights.
Yeah, that's dumb. But this code can only...
Yes, ma'am?
Doesn't the 5th Amendment... So the part of the 14th Amendment that guarantees non-citizens as well as clause, correct?
You cut out there. What was that?
the part of the 14th Amendment you're talking about that was... correct?
You died again.
Yeah, am I the only one here?
Keep cutting out, Madam Chief Justice.
Okay, I will type this. The due process clause. That is the part of the 14th Amendment that guarantees rights to citizens as well as non-citizens, right?
Yes, that is. And we do not have due process.
Right. However, the due process clause is also in the 5th Amendment, which in our case is in the 3rd or 4th Amendment, right?
I think it's the 4th.
No, well, that applies to, and I did think I have that written down. let me.
Oh.
Sorry, I was having a little bit of a. I just ate a spicy taco. Amendments to the U.S.
Sorry, guys. I'm just buttering up my fingers with this popcorn.
Amendment 4. Here we go. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law.
Exactly. So that's the same thing in the 14th Amendment.
However, as it was established, which case was it? How the use of "we the people" and "peoples" and "persons" was indigenous to citizens of the United States of America.
What specific document are you using that quote from? Because the most famous one, I mean, are you thinking of the preamble of the Constitution, or?
Yeah, I'll just create a nice new basis and try to outline it. We the people, the very first words you see in the Constitution, we the people, is a phrase formed by the people of the United States of America, the citizens of the United States of America, that are forming together and creating this great country, creating its laws and its rights. And we the people represents them, the citizens of the United States. And so
right, however, the complete phrase you're referring to is "we the people of the
United States,"
not just "we the people." So, people by itself, couldn't that still just refer to humans?
I say people by itself refers to the citizens, and I would like to argue for that.
Oh, right, but I'm simply pointing out that the specific phrase you're using, which we interpret as only applying to citizens of the United States, that full phrase is "we the people of the United States," not just "we the people."
Oh, yes, ma'am.
So, in that case, wouldn't people itself just be the definition that's given in the U.S. Code, which says any person, human being, child, individual, basically account?
So in that case, would the U.S. Code not be trying to provide different language to the Constitution, or provide clarity to the Constitution? Which
well,
it is not.
Laws are permitted to clarify certain phrases in the Constitution. You just can't run counter to it.
And I say that this runs counter to it as, sorry, as the use of person, human being, child, and individual can be used, and has been used, such as in person, in the U.S. Code, for example, the word person is used 116 times. Let's see, there's an instance of it where it's used as stating the rights, such as persons in uniform, stating that this clause applies to people outside of the U.S., dictating
no, because it says persons in uniform.
Persons in uniform.
People, individuals, citizens or not, who are.
Citizens or not, which we do not have the right to dictate of non-citizens, especially those not within our country.
But it says persons in uniform.
But
so,
it's trying to say persons in uniform, even those that are not even within the United States borders. Even though if I'm a person in some Argentinian militia uniform, this clause says that still applies to me because it is an account on a profile on Roblox.com. Even if I have nothing to do with the U.S. group, even if I'm in Argentina, I'm a rebel in a rebel uniform. Apparently, this law would apply to me according to this clause.
Well, the thing is, then your issue is with the phrase "persons in uniform." But
no, my issue is with the phrase "person."
The phrase "person" is used to refer to any account or individual. Then, if persons in uniform is simply defined as people in the uniform of the United States military, then the United States has jurisdiction over a non-citizen who's a member of the military, as they should.
No, but I'm saying a person in uniform not being in the United States military, but a person in any uniform, in any foreign military.
Well, then that's an issue with 4 U.S. Code 1, which, oh, look, you did challenge that.
Yeah.
We'll consider that separately, but can you give another example that shows an actual issue with the use
Certainly.
of persons?
Certainly. 5 U.S. Code Section 24. Any individual who is bar certified may represent a person before an agency on filing with the agency written.
It's 5 U.S. 20...
5 U.S. 204.
Okay, let me find this. Okay.
So this is saying they may represent a person, not citizen, person. A person that has nothing to do with the U.S. group, again.
It says before an agency.
Before an agency.
That litigation would have to do with the U.S. Right?
Right.
And we've already established through the substantive due process clause in the Fifth Amendment that even non-citizens have the right to sue in court in the United States, don't they?
That they don't, right?
Well, they do have the right. That was established in...
Oh, because you guys overturned that one.
We overturned Guy Berner. And the question of whether or not Guy Berner is precedent has also been called into question, as it was supposedly an immigration hearing. But even if it was legal precedent, that's been overturned. So...
Did they overturn that one Clemens v. U.S.? Who overturned that? Did you?
Yes, that was me, because it violates the Fifth Amendment.
Oh, well, I'll be damned.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Got it. Taking of other action on the application or petition.
Hold on.
Oh, yes.
No, she said hold on.
There are 116 instances. I gotta scroll through all of them. Let's see. Persons entitled to notice of an agency.
Speak in your mind. We don't want to hear you speak out loud. Yeah.
Thanks, Terrence. But someone has...
Right, let's see.
Okay, are you guys there?
Hello.
Mr. Jones?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so we just have a few more questions for you. Under 1 U.S. Code 102, you said enacting and... Could you clarify what that means?
I'm sorry, you cut out. Would you?
I'll type it.
What the fuck is enacting/resolving words?
Yes.
Madam Chief Justice, The fact that we have to ask this shows another lack of clarity in this clause of the U.S. Code, as it provides just vagueness in these clarities and simply tells you certain words enacting / resolving, whatever that may mean, in its lack of clarity as a restriction.
Okay.
So how exactly does that make that a restriction?
Yeah.
What do you mean, how does that make that a
Can
restriction?
you answer, Mr.
How does it restrict the ability of Congress to do their powers as a legislature?
Because it restricts, let's see, the language that can be used in legislation, while providing very vague terms in what these terms that are restricted are, restricting these vague terms from legislation and preventing the Congress from being able to write laws thusly.
But if the terms themselves are vague, how does it just restrict it?
Because it is not vague in the sense that it restricts little, but in the sense that it could be construed to restrict.
Has it been construed to do that?
Exactly.
Has it, or can it?
Has it?
But can it?
Please don't answer a question with a question.
Has it? Not to my knowledge. Which is
so in no way this has affected the legislature.
Not yet, but I believe that's the preventative measure. It's better to stop a murder before it happens than to wait for it to happen.
Moving on, you said that definition of states. We found this in the U.S. Code. Are you referring to 7 under Section 7, Clause 2?
I believe I probably am.
Okay. Also, for your challenge to 5 USC 2, you said that I understand that in real life the Marine Corps is under the Department of the Navy, and here it's listed as the Department of, which is weird.
No, I gave that's the full name of it is the thing. The name it's not the Marine Corps. It's the Marine Corps, the Secretary of Defense, or President, with the approval of Congress, simple majority can establish military departments.
Oh,
that's
okay,
the department. That's the department name.
Yeah. Okay, that's weird.
Connor, Terrence, you helped write this, so.
Okay, so yeah, understand that part. Though that resolves my question.
Yeah.
I'll now turn the trial over to Webby, who can continue asking questions. And yeah.
No,
Delicious.
We're good.
Bye.
We're good. Damn it. So we're gonna go into recess now.
Job.
And we will deliberate the case once.
Supreme Court. Alright, the stream's muted. And you can release an opinion later, but